straight from the realm of all things gaming. Everything Noob starts now.
Episode 118, Everything Noob podcast. I am Vortak. Welcome this evening. Sometimes I make videos on the YouTubes, and joining me, Jemmy.
Yay! I keep thinking about YouTube video making. And I actually set an alarm on my phone to do it this week. And then I was just like, no, I'm going back to sleep.
Wow. Worst YouTuber ever. And
yeah,
so I'm joined by Jemmy, the worst YouTuber ever, and Dreadlow.
I'm still streaming Hearthstone, so come and check me out on Hitbox.
Streamer of Hearthstone.
I do it almost every night. I've been failing on the weekends because things come up. But during the week, I'm streaming Hearthstone. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to try and do some other games, but right now I'm kind of addicted to Hearthstone.
Well, welcome to the Everything Noob podcast, the show where we talk about a central theme every night. And the theme this week is centered around the rumor that there's going to be a live-action Zelda series coming to Netflix. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about games in general turning into other forms of media, such as TV and movies. And yeah, I mean, I'll kick it off. First of all, I think this is practically confirmed now, right? The Zelda thing?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's a rumor. I think it's an actual thing that's going to happen. I guess the project still could get canned, but yeah, it's a thing.
What do you guys think that's going to be like? And before we go on, I'm just going to say now, this is going to be a major speculation podcast because we don't know a whole lot about this project and many others that are out there. So buckle up. But what do you guys think this is going to end up looking like?
I don't know. I think they would have to probably do a cartoony feel, I think. No?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be live action, so you can't go cartoony.
That's true.
You know what, though? I don't know if you guys have seen the old cartoon.
I actually saw it as a kid and never got into it. I knew what Zelda was, but I just didn't like the cartoon.
It's so bad it's good, is the way I would describe that. And I'm looking at the Netflix original series and stuff, and they really don't have a Netflix original series that is family friendly. So I'm kind of thinking this is what's going to fill that gap.
That's true.
I feel like this is not going to be the adult serious Legend of Zelda that a lot of fans are going to want. It's going to be kind of family friendly and bring it down. But then again, there's a lot of shows that are geared towards young kids and are family friendly that have really great writing that apparently a lot of adults love. I can think of Adventure Time and My Little Pony and what was the other one? I've totally brain farted, but
I'm sure Excel in chat there can fill you in. He's all about those types of shows. You know what I read is that someone said this Zelda TV show sounds like it's going to be Game of Thrones but toned down for families with a Zelda theme.
That wouldn't really be a bad thing.
No, I haven't, and unfortunately I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I've seen enough little clips here and there and trailers to know that it's kind of a gritty, dark show, right? And I could see a Zelda series working out in that style.
I don't know if gritty is the word I would use, but it is very morbid and dark, I would say, but not in gothic dark. Just don't get too attached because everybody dies. That's just the best way to summarize that. If you like this character, they are probably going to die. If you can't stand this character, they are still alive.
You know what I want? I want to watch Game of Thrones eventually to see.
You really need to.
I really want to. You know what I kind of want this Zelda series to do that I know won't happen? I want it to somehow tie together all the Zelda games into one story. Because that's something I've always wondered. People have said that there is a way to kind of lay it out to where it goes along a timeline of sorts.
Yeah.
And I want to know, I want to see something that kind of brings them together.
I don't know if that would work, though, because some of them are... There's hundreds of years gap, and it's not the same guy for Link and Zelda. Well, Zelda's not a guy. But
maybe they could go a bunch of seasons where they pass the torch to a new Link, similar to Doctor Who, where the actor changes, and not the same way. Link isn't going to regenerate. I'm not saying Link is a Time Lord, although I'd watch that show.
No,
in a heartbeat.
I'm just like, I'm thinking about that formula that Doctor Who has, and I would personally despise that.
Well, you're not a Doctor Who fan, then, are you?
I know. I really, honestly, on paper, there's no reason I shouldn't be a Doctor Who fan, but just like something about it is just like, I can't do it.
I think they can do it where they can have, Link, then they can have, different characters, right? And then tie it all together in a conclusion. I don't know.
That's just how shows work. So I don't know what you're.
I know.
Nothing groundbreaking there, Treadlow.
No, I'm trying to come up with something new. No, I was kidding.
I have a fresh idea.
Wait. That sounds like stereotypical TV.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to come up with something.
They better complete if they're gonna make this a series. They better there better be a conclusion.
Oh,
because
it's Netflix.
I am so tired of starting. Netflix puts these things on there, and you start watching them. Like for instance, I was watching the Tomorrow People. Great series, right? After I got done with it, I'm like, okay, now I can wait for season. No, it was canceled.
Wait, it was an original Netflix series?
No, it wasn't an original Netflix. It was a
that's
television
standard
series.
TV, though.
That when I looked it up to see if there was a season 2 or whatever, no, it was canceled. It kind of leaves you hanging too at the end of it, and you're like, oh, come on,
Well,
So
there's a lot of good shows that got canned, and nobody knows exactly why they got canned because it wasn't because they were a bad show. So they anticipate they're going to get renewed, and then all of a sudden the network's like, no. And so they kind of leave that weird open end.
That's so unfair.
That's really unfair
this is
to the people who liked it.
This is going to be a Netflix original series then, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, they'll go to a conclusion. They don't usually do that. They don't have no network god hanging over them.
You know what? I don't know if there's been a Netflix show yet that has wrapped. Because it's such a new thing. I think every Netflix show that's out there is only at max like 3 seasons old, right? We're about to get season 3.
Going.
Season
Wait,
3
what's
of House of
House of
Cards might be it. I think I don't know. I thought maybe I dreamt it, but I thought I heard a rumor where House of Cards was done after 3 seasons, but maybe that's just me thinking that because of the way the show is. I don't know if it can go much longer, but anyway, I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't think a Netflix show is wrapped up yet, but I'm sure it will because Netflix is Netflix. They don't have producers standing over them, at NBC going, you need to get rid of this. This is crap. Wrap it up. You have 1 episode to do it. So, yeah, I think it'll do okay, especially if they tailor it to a younger audience. There's a lot that Netflix is starting to do for kids. If you noticed, they have like a whole section dedicated to just cartoons and kid-friendly content, but it's not their content. So this could be really good for them. They have Nickelodeon now, they have Disney now, and this could definitely be good. I know Star Wars stuff is going to start popping up on there soon because of Disney.
Oh yeah, huh?
Is it going to be the digitally enhanced Greedo shot first version?
No, I think I don't know if those movies better come to Netflix at some point. But the Clone Wars is on there, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I haven't sat down and watched it yet, but I keep meaning to. I'm like, I'm seeing it, and I'm like, okay, I need to watch that, but I need to be in that Star Wars mood. And then I think about like episode 1 through 3, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I can't do it. What if it breaks my heart?
People apparently even George Lucas liked Star Wars Clone Wars series way more than he liked the 3 movies, than episode 1, 2, and 3. But that's just I don't know. I didn't talk to George Lucas. I don't know. That's just what I read. But yeah, so Zelda series coming to Netflix. This isn't the first time though. We have tons of different things that have already been turning into movies. Warcraft, for example, that's going to be a movie soon.
That'll probably be a good movie. If anything, it'll be a very pretty movie. They've
already got all the characters, like Anduin Lothar is the actors Travis Fimmel. I mean, they got the actors down. They already got the character names from the game. already laid out, so it's a go. I think they're actually filming.
Okay. Yeah, they have. Yeah, you're right. They're probably in pre-production at least. In chat, real quick, Gems Mumsy says, "Yes, this is the last House of Cards season." So.
So your dreams
Say
were
goodbye.
true.
Yeah. But anyway, the now that threw me off. Warcraft movie is, I think this would be really cool, but I am what you would consider a filthy casual. So I'm the guy who takes quests and doesn't read crap, and I feel like all that lore has now been wasted on me. And all those people who take the time to like read into all that are probably going to have like a really good movie experience, or it's going to be like,
what?
I read the book and the book was better. I don't know, but it's going to be fun for them.
I think it's a failed movie if it only appeals to those hardcore lore fans. If it doesn't have mass appeal for even people who don't even know anything about the game and never played it, it is a bad movie. I think the excuse that you should have to read the book to watch the movie or have to have played the game to enjoy it and get it is a terrible excuse to try to pretend like a movie's good. It is a bad movie if you have to use the supplemental content to understand it, get it, or know what's going on. That means they did not do a good job in writing.
Is if you look at the character content, I lost the page. I mean, they've got some people in here from in the beginning, so I'm guessing they're going to just start. Obviously, what is the poster says something? Fight for the Alliance, Warcraft, the movie. You know.
Do you think it's
and
an origin
I'm guessing,
story?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's some kind of origins. They're going to start with Alliance, and possibly a part 2 will be the Horde, you know, and they'll do stuff like that. That's what it's looking like. I don't know.
I think it's crazy that a video game can grow into a motion picture. That's awesome. I mean, good God. Because if you think about just in terms of gaming versus a TV show, say, all a TV show needs to do is write, you know, and then people get on stage and act. But for a video game, not only do you have to have writers, but then you have to make an actual game out of it. You have to make it interactive. And it's like, I don't know. It's just impressive. I'm just really impressed.
Oh, here we go. They actually have a storyline here. It says the film portrays the origin story of the initial encounters between the humans and the orcs, with an emphasis upon both the alliances and the Horde sides of their conflict. And that's like the origins. That's where it all started. Featuring characters such as Durotan and Lothar. The film will take place in a variety of locations established in the video game series. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't think it's gonna really be 100% catered to those of lore. I think we're gonna get lore from it.
Good. I think that's good.
What I think.
Because
they're starting from the very beginning, because that was the first thing that happened, was the humans and the orcs fought, and there was a big war.
Do you think they're looking at Marvel movies and we're like, we could do that?
Yeah, I bet. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait for March 2016. So that's one to look forward to.
Yeah, that's kind of a ways out, but that's going to be, I think that's going to be a pretty badass movie. And I think we're now, because of movies like all the Marvel superhero movies, we're in a phase where people are starting to realize there's value in making a video game turned into a motion picture. I remember when Halo was supposed to have a movie, and it was getting like pushed back and complication after complication, budget problem after budget problem, and finally nothing happened. Like they scrapped the whole thing. And I feel like if today they tried that, it would work out a lot better. And a good example of that is Forward Unto Dawn. I don't know if you guys watched that. It was a 5-episode miniseries that basically...
I heard that got a lot of flack from fans, though.
Really?
Like, at least there was one of the I think it was the more anime-style short. I think a lot of, like, hardcore fans were really upset about that because they kind of went in a weird direction with it. I think I remember that.
I don't remember an anime.
I mean... It was made by an animator who does anime, I think, or he wrote it because I can't remember exactly. I just remember reading some complaints, and maybe that is a vocal minority of that, but you're always going to have that with this kind of content. Fans get very dedicated and attached to what they want, and if it's not their vision of what they feel like it is, they're going to be mad. there's just nothing you can do.
Well, Halo, I don't know. Everything I heard about Forward Unto Dawn, people really liked it, but maybe I was just listening to the wrong audience or the right audience. Who knows? However you want to put it.
Probably the right audience.
I found it to be very entertaining and very, very well done. I mean, just the way that, I don't know, all the weapons looked like they did out of the game, except they were, it was live action, It's like
was the whole thing live action?
Yes, the whole thing.
No, what I'm talking about is it was like a series of shorts, like the Animatrix.
No.
And they were all like animated, and there was like it was for Halo. And the one went in a really weird direction that really pissed people off. Now I'm wondering what the hell that was. I haven't watched either.
You might
want
to go figure that one out, because Forward Unto Dawn was all live action, and just the way they did Master Chief and everything, like, it just worked. It was just a really well done piece, and I don't know. I was kind of glad that it didn't turn into a big movie, because that little miniseries was it kind of did the trick, but I wanted to see more at the same time. I hope they keep going in the direction of miniseries versus movie. And that's why I was really happy to hear that Zelda was going to have a mini-series instead of a movie. Or maybe a whole series, a mini-series, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be on Netflix. And I think that's the right way to go. Make it episodic, make it,
It's Halo Legends is what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for video games becoming movies. I mean, we've had some very successful ones. Tomb Raider was a very successful movie franchise there. I mean, all of them, and they all, had, Angelina Jolie and she looked just like her from the video game. So, I'm all for that. But Warcraft is going to be tough. Doing a Halo movie, probably, since they've already experimented with it, with the series, like you said.
Yeah.
Would probably be kind of good. Any game that has some kind of story to it, some kind of content that when you play the game, I've done that. I've played a video game and I've sat there going, this would make a great movie. This would make a really good movie. Then I could, that might be good. But I mean, you get something like Minecraft, where it's supposed to be coming out with a Minecraft movie. How are they going to do that?
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
Story-heavy games would be great for movies.
Yeah.
Action-based games or no story games really kind of, well, what do you do with it?
Well, didn't the director of the Minecraft movie just leave because of creative differences?
Yes.
Was the director, producer? Someone left.
Wanted to make it like a Goonies type movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was Jeb or the guys that are in control of Minecraft, right? And not specifically Microsoft, because this was in the works, I think, before Microsoft even took it over. But decided that's not where they want a Minecraft movie to go, but yet they have no idea where to go with it.
Yeah, they don't have any ideas of their own, but they said that's not really what we were thinking. And so the guy just left. He's like, I can't.
We don't know what we want, but we know we don't want that.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are certain things where, and I was going to ask the question, do you think that some games or any game needs a movie? If the game did its job, the goal was to tell a story but make it interactive instead of just sitting there and absorbing it, you're in the story. That's the point of a video game. Do they need movies? And I think the answer, we've already kind of answered that. We enjoy watching them for the most part. The ones we've seen, we've liked. So, yeah, I think they make great movies. And you would think the answer to that question would be, no, you're right. We don't need movies of these games. They did a great job telling the story, but Minecraft we need a movie of. We don't even know what happens in that. No, I think it's the opposite now. I think we don't need a movie on Minecraft because there's nothing to tell. It's just there's
unless
no story.
they come up with like a if they come up with some kind of lore for the game, it might work out. It might be something.
Yeah, I think
some kind
I
of
agree
lore.
with that. Like,
yeah,
here's a story for this universe we've created that people are really attached to, but it wouldn't necessarily make a good and full fleshed out game. So we'll make a movie about it so everybody can get that story, but not have to like trudge through a terrible game.
Yeah.
this is just another flaw in Minecraft, I think. The first big one being that it was coded in Java by a guy who was just basically dicking around and made
The movie's going to be in
phenomenon.
Java too. No, it's
The
kidding.
movie will be coded in Java.
Oh my god.
It's the thing about Minecraft is most games, I think, start out with some kind of story, a backstory to all the things going on. Even if it doesn't tell that backstory, I think a lot of times developers give themselves one to ground themselves a little bit.
Right.
And Minecraft never did that. It was just a guy messing around and made a game.
Yeah, that's basically what it
Had
was.
they
He didn't intend it to
done
even get as popular as it did.
Yeah. Had he
But,
thought, what if one day the world transformed into blocks, and he wrote a whole story about it and then decided this would make a fun game. But that's not how it works.
No, it's not how it worked.
Well, it would be more railroad tracky than and not a giant sandbox. So it wouldn't really work. It's like no one wants to like be told build something to the exact specifications and like here it has like a half transparent of like the type of block you need to place and like yay. No, part of the charm of Minecraft is you learn how to build your first house and it looks like crap, but then you go online and you're like, whoa, somebody built something cool. Well, how do I do that? And so you start learning about like redstone or just like different textures next to each other or, hey, I can turn the stairs upside down and make trimming and
discoveries and create, great things. Do you guys remember that podcast we did forever ago where we talked about if you had to live life in a video game, which one would it be? We had like the whole discussion about it.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I don't even remember what I said. Maybe I said Minecraft. Minecraft was definitely on my mind because it's infinite and anything can happen. You could just keep going with it forever. I mean, going off of that, I wonder, because I think the reason I thought of that topic was I was seeing all these stories about how they're trying to make it so you can upload your brain into a computer.
Yeah.
And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if, they put you inside a game? What if that's what the movie was? What if people, who were getting ill were like, I'm going to try this new experimental thing where I upload my brain into a computer so I don't have to die, and they end up in Minecraft when they get uploaded.
So are you saying Minecraft is digital purgatory?
Yes. Is it too dark?
No, I'm just like, I'm not sure if I should be happy about that or sad.
That would be kind of odd.
At first, very happy, and then after a while, burnt out.
After a while, I'd be like, I'm done with this. Like,
I don't know.
I can't Google redstone, damn it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to play Minecraft without YouTube and Google. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And then what you saying that the movie part, the blocky part of the movie when you're in Minecraft would
it's a computer
go to a cartoonish type.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because how else are you going to do Minecraft with real people? You can't.
If you want to do a live action Minecraft, you're going to have CGI anyway. So I don't know. Maybe
I'm wondering if that's what this director did though. But it wasn't as science fiction-y as you make it. But it was talking about some kids who discover something and they end up in this Minecraft world.
I think it was just kids playing Minecraft and like it studied their like it focused on them like in the real world and then when they came home and played Minecraft.
That would
and I was like, that's I know.
If it's like Goonies, though, Goonies, the kids went onto an adventure and ended up in lands that were basically impossible in real life. So it would be if
would
the
evolve
director
into that, but
yeah, I'm thinking that's where he was going with it. That would have been an awesome movie. I'm sorry, but
if you like the Goonies,
maybe Microsoft.
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for just opening my opinion there, but honestly, Goonies fucking overrated.
I know it was
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
don't. Just save yourself the trouble of getting involved in this war because I'm not met anybody who was like middle of the road about this movie. Like they either
the little
love
fat
it
kid
or
was
hate
pretty
it.
cool. I like the little fat kid.
I've seen Conan, and his studio is actually where they filmed the Goonies. So not sure if that counts.
Oh, really? Wow, that's
No, that
interesting.
doesn't count.
So
I'm gonna buy it right now. That makes up for everything.
I think my idea for that concept, though, that where you upload your brain into a computer and you suddenly end up in Minecraft, I think what would be funny about it is that the people who are conducting the experiment don't know what happens to you. They just know that you're alive somewhere out there in the internet sphere. And you end up in this world, and you're like, the hell? This is it? And so, I don't know, because Minecraft, here's the thing. When I started playing Minecraft, the best part was when I didn't know how to play. And at first, everyone has that same reaction, like, what the hell is this? You know, it looks like garbage. What do I do?
You punch the tree by clicking the button over and over again. Realize you have to,
And everyone maybe had that friend that introduced them, and they're like, no, check this out. And they showed you the crafting and how you start out with nothing, but then you punch some trees and you make some tools, and you're like, suddenly you're starting to see what you're getting into. You're like, whoa, this game can kind of do everything. And then you just start building and going. And that would be that if they want to make a movie that captures the essence of Minecraft, they need to kind of give me that feeling, like of discovery, like someone who doesn't understand what they've stumbled upon starts to mess with it a little bit,
I feel like it's going to end up like a bad Lego movie clone.
Yeah, I have that feeling too, though.
And that would crush my heart, but I know realistically, like, that's probably what's going to happen. Minecraft Steve is going to take on this personality and character, and then this voice that I probably am going to hate, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Cannot be unseen.
You dare face me, Herobrine? No, I was kidding.
And I'm afraid that's going to be what it's about, because they need an enemy and they need someone to,
Evil
fight
Notch.
and stuff.
How about a griefer? How about just a griefer?
That would be relatable. I think.
Yeah, well, we got the dragon at the end, right?
There's a lot there that they're probably overthinking. Like, oh, okay, so we have a dragon, we have the Wither boss, we have online griefers, we have all these things.
Online griefers.
You could do the movie about a lot of things. It's just you gotta do it right. And I can see why it's kind of intimidating to think, what could we do? But I just remember when I was having the most fun in the game, and that was when I was discovering things.
You're right.
That's how I felt. Like,
yeah, but I don't want to watch a movie where some guy's trying to figure out how to get wood.
no.
Carmen Brown is the whole movie.
It's a whole movie.
Commenting
No, you just punch the
on
tree,
commentators playing Minecraft for the first time.
But anyway, yeah, I can understand what you're saying.
I don't know. Minecraft movie, good luck. That's all I have to say. But I guess the whole Zelda Warcraft thing, they have it easy. They got all kinds of lore and story to work with. So whatever they produce, at least they'll have a ground to go off of.
They've already got something established. So yeah, it's like I think Tomb Raider and some of these other video games these movies that came out that were video games weren't specifically following the same storyline as the video game, but yet developed their own story based on the characters that were in the video game. I think Tomb Raider was like that, where it didn't actually follow like the first Tomb Raider. It developed a story based off of it, but
that's probably
had the characters in there.
No, it is most video game movies. Is they kind of like take the formula and they'll pluck out names and this, that, and the other, and they'll kind of just rewrite an alternate universe story that kind of is fan service, usually poorly done.
Yeah, there has been some bad.
There's been some really bad ones.
But Mortal Kombat was good. I was trying to figure out how are they going to make a movie out of that when it was first announced a long, long time ago. How are they going to make a movie out of that? But they did. They actually made a pretty good movie out of it.
I never saw that one.
You never did?
No.
You got to check it out sometime. 1995. It was really good.
Good year. That was a good year.
All the characters look like the characters that were in the game, too. That's what's amazing about it. Anyway.
I saw Hitman. That was one of the ones I can remember. I also saw Prince of Persia, which
Oh, I
actually
loved Prince of Persia.
Yeah, it was
I
not
actually
bad.
thought that was a good movie. I mean, it wasn't like 5-star, but for a video game movie, I was like, this is a nice, refreshing change from like abysmally bad.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like that was I hadn't
was
played
fun.
much of the games either. Like, I remember I got the first game and I didn't really get into it, and I really liked the movie. But I saw Hitman, and that just ended up being like every other action movie. Like, I didn't hate it or anything, but it just didn't make me feel that same feeling I get from Hitman, where it's like Agent 47 and he has a barcode on his head. That's fine, but this guy didn't. I don't know. It just didn't feel the same. Like, Agent 47 gets missions and he has to like stealthily go through them, and this felt more or less like a guy just going through a general action movie. And
Yeah,
just kinda
that
got meh.
does bring up something interesting. I don't know if it's still yet, but you can get all the Hitman on Steam for $7.99.
Yeah,
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
If you are someone who likes the Hitman series, or if you've never played it,
And you want to.
take advantage of that, because I might even do that because I don't have those games anymore. I didn't.
Well,
have
you got
them
a
on
few
PC.
hours left. I don't
Okay.
know exactly when, but
You better run.
It's such a good series, and the latest game was different.
I heard it was. Yeah, I heard a lot of people were kind of disappointed, but they still liked it because it was Hitman, and it was part of the story, and it kind of it was good in that sense. But as far as the way everything worked, it was different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That
He was the agent, but at the same time he was supposedly he was black flagged or whatever. However you call it when they're blacklisted. Yeah, right?
Yeah,
In Absolution, he was blacklisted. So he was a bad guy. But he wasn't. He was framed or whatever.
There's just a few
know.
missions in that game where they were really like, there's a few different ways to do them, and each one was very difficult. It was a hard game. They all were, but I just remember they kind of used the same scenery, recycled it for a few of the levels, and that pissed me off a little bit. I like in Hitman, I think the third one, Blood Money, was my favorite. That was amazing. And each scene was like different. There was one where you were in a vineyard and you had to go through, and hopefully I'm not mixing up the games here, but there was one where you go to this party at this awesome house, and you're sneaking through all this. I remember one of the games had you were on a boat, like a Titanic-sized boat. I don't know why I said Titanic, a cruise ship-sized boat, and you had to take out a mission on there. One of my favorites was one where you dressed as a clown and you went to a kid's birthday party. And yeah, you had to I don't know. There was all these different ways to do it. It's a really cool game. Hitman's awesome. The movie was nothing like it.
When we were talking about the series on Netflix, The Legend of Zelda, I just found something here that's interesting. I think I remember this, but I don't remember watching it. Mario Brothers.
The movie?
The movie.
Oh my god!
So if they could do something like that, I think.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would be mad though, because it's kind of
a comedy.
So bad it was good.
I saw that movie really young. I loved Mario, and it's on I think it was on the Disney Channel one night. I'm like, what is this? Is this real life right now? And what really turned me off from that movie was Yoshi.
The druggy Yoshi.
Yeah?
That was the creepiest thing the creepiest depiction of Yoshi I've ever seen. It gave me nightmares. Just a dinosaur. I know Yoshi's a dinosaur, but Yoshi is adorable. This was not adorable. This thing could eat you, and I don't know why they were being friends with it. Just get this thing out of here. What is this? Kill it before it lays eggs.
I don't remember seeing it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I don't remember.
I think I was thinking about a different character, but I think I know what you're talking about because it's been a long time since I've seen it. Have you guys watched any of the Resident Evil movies?
No.
I don't know if you've played any of the games either.
I haven't.
Really? I kind of watch them just because I can't. It's a train wreck that you just can't look away. They're actually better, I think, in the later ones than that first one. The first one was kind of weird and laughable. It
was
a funny
probably
zombie
low
movie.
budget when they first put it out, and then all of a sudden they realized that it became a cult hit, and they said, "Oh, we got more money. Let's make another one." And then they all were better.
I don't even know if that's. I think it's more because they walked away from the game story wise. They kind of were like, okay, we had that jumping point where we kind of like stuck with the game. Now we're just gonna like use elements and just abandon that and kind of just make a movie.
I never even played Resident Evil. I've missed
Really?
out. Yeah.
I don't know.
Gamer.
No, I'm going to say here, you probably did not miss out by not playing Resident Evil because I just feel like those games would frustrate you to the point of rage quit. Because it's limited ammo, it can get really hard and frustrating.
What I've heard about those games. They are very difficult.
The Alan Wake?
Yeah.
That one is so hard, man. Because you got to have your flashlight always there. If you don't have your flashlight and it's not on, the enemies can kill you. As soon as you shine your flashlight on them, they disintegrate. And then you use your gun. Or no, they don't disintegrate. They become vulnerable and you can shoot them. Otherwise, you can't shoot them. And your batteries always go dead. It's just an impossible game. Can't get through it. So I'm guessing what you're saying is Resident Evil is very similar to that, where you're constantly running out of ammo. It's probably very linear, so you can't go too far outside of the map. I don't know.
Again, I've never played it. Alan Wake looked cool, but I never played that one either.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah, I own it, and I just was like, yeah, I'm going to play that, and I just never get around to it.
It's got a great little storyline. It's really cool.
I know. I just, every time I think about it, I'm like in a situation where I can't start it, and I'm like, oh my God, that game is going to be so good. Like, look at this. This is amazing. Okay, as soon as I finish with whatever I'm doing, I'm going to get right to it. And I've like, boop, gone. I swear, I feel like I have the memory of a goldfish sometimes.
Now, see, that could be a movie.
You with
memory of a goldfish?
Yeah, the memory of the goldfish. No, Alan Wake.
Like, I think that would be some kind of weird memento disjointed thing. I don't know.
51st Dates. Kind of like that.
No, my life is not a romantic comedy. Don't even. No.
You guys remember Doom?
Adam Sandler?
No. If I was gonna have a movie out of my life, there would be two people that were banned from ever even being cast. It would be Adam Sandler and Jack Black. Absolutely no.
I want to see that movie now. Adam Sandler. I don't think Adam Sandler and Jack Black have ever worked together.
No, they haven't. But I would never want to see a movie with two of them in there. No.
Yeah, that be horrible.
Yeah,
I don't think that movie would get anywhere. It'd just be zany. It'd just be weird.
Well, there are a couple things worth mentioning in chat. It's moving a little bit faster than I can read it, but why don't we take just a minute here?
Let's hear from the Noob Nation.
Let's hear from the Noob Nation. If you've joined us this evening on twitch.tv/enoobs, you'd be able to participate in the conversation going on in chat live right now. We are live every week, twitch.tv/enoobs at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And so we have a couple people talking about, let's see, Final Fantasy, Advent Children was an epic movie. People just kind of sharing stories about movies they've seen. I love the Mortal Kombat movie, says, oh, here we go again. Anchti? Oh, man. These names.
Ankti.
Oh, yeah, okay. Did we go through this last time?
Same person, too.
Same person. Change your name.
I think I said it right.
Wow! Learned a phonics.
Anchti or Ankti?
Hook it on phonics.
Anchti, probably Anchti.
So, someone said earlier, I think it was Dark Waters, was trying to leave us a voice message. And I quickly wanted to say, for everyone listening, and if you even know, we have a section on our website called Contact Us. And we've made it very easy. You can go to the website and leave a voice message directly in the site. But apparently Dark Waters ran into the problem where it said you need like an app and you have to pay. That's not the experience I saw when I tried it. I will definitely look at that again and check. But if that doesn't work for some reason, or you check, make sure you click the right button. Maybe you clicked like a paid version.
Maybe he was on the mobile version of the site, and that's why that came up.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that. Definitely go on a computer and do it. I know it's set up so you can use mobile, but I can totally see why they would charge, and I apologize. But if you are a mobile, we have a cell phone number, and I promise you nobody will answer the number. It is just a voicemail. Like, that's all it is. That is a fear a lot of people have. It's like, I don't know who I'm calling. It's literally
I called it and it said FBI. No, I'm just kidding.
It's literally gonna ring maybe once, and it'll be my voice picking up saying, "Leave a message. Make sure it's short, and we can it can be understood and whatever, and it might be on the show." And then it goes beep, and then you leave a message like any voicemail. So it's just a Google Voice number that doesn't go anywhere. It's not linked to a phone that's gonna ring. So just wanted to make that clear for you if anyone ever wanted to leave us a message. But yeah, other than that, everyone's just kind of sharing stories about movies from games they saw, and that's where you said Super Mario. I don't know if you're reading chat, Dread, a little bit when you said that. It's funny because people in chat were already talking about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought maybe you were reading chat.
No.
Kyrick earlier gave us a script for the Minecraft movie. It says, Minecraft movie starts off with the character waking up, realizes they are alone, searches for others, only to find a small village and help save the village from starvation. Main character helps build walls, bigger and better. Something happens and creepers manage to blow up the village while he or she is in the mine. Protagonist hears the commotion, runs to help. Protagonist ends up getting wounded really bad and begins slowly dying. Roll credits.
I think that would be the only way they could do something with Minecraft is if they just start with a guy on the ground waking up and he doesn't know who he is or where he's at. That's the only way they can really go with that.
I like the concept of adding villages to it though.
I like the concept of it should be very meta. Like, there's a guy, and he wakes up and he doesn't know who or where he is, but like everybody else is just kind of like playing the game. And they're like, "Oh, you're new to the server." And he's like, "Server?"
And then a guy comes up and says, "Yeah, just punch the tree." See, it'll kind of play into what you're talking about, how the best part of Minecraft was discovering how to do things. There you go. We start the movie that way.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do. So he goes up and punches a tree.
And then you just create some like little like climaxing story about like him reaching his peak or some crap like that. And maybe you end the movie with him like waking up in the real world and it was all just a dream.
The story of all these Endermen all over the place.
I'm just trying to create something original here.
Yeah, these Endermen all over the place. All these Endermen are just like all over the place. And he's asking the villagers, what are these? And he says, well, we have a problem. We need to get to the end. And then so the whole thing is this guy that woke up, didn't know where he's at, builds himself up to go to the end to kill the dragon and get rid of all the Endermen.
You know what's funny is that I guarantee you, if they just use CG animation, like any one of the like the CG YouTubers you watch, like the ones that cover animation, like Element Animation,
come up with some awesome
could make a way better movie than whatever Hollywood's gonna pump out.
Oh yeah, exactly. So if they do that, see, that's the thing. If they do something like that, it's gonna be like,
no,
we can do better,
not always, because you could get A-list voices and stuff like that, and not just like A-list voices like everybody knows this person and loves them. I mean like A-list voice actors, which is something like Hollywood would have access to that like normal people do not.
Yeah.
Well,
not that I'm saying there are some really great indie voice actors out there, and kudos to you for lending your voice to our small productions, but
Denzel Washington as Steve.
Interesting.
I'm not sure, but please continue. I'm interested.
Jem's sister said I want Kevin Spacey in all these movies.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh yeah, he can do all the voices. What are you talking about? He can do them all. Oh man.
Yeah. Also, I agree. A Portal movie would be amazing.
Oh, that would be neat. Now I can see.
Where can I throw my money for that?
Yeah, there's really no
love that.
story to it, but
there is tons of story to Portal.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you play the game, it's just you just go from room to room, right? But what I'm saying is there is story out there because of the community, right?
No.
No, No, there's
I've played
story
Portal
in that
before.
game.
You're
It's not narrated to you, and it's not like delivered in typical ways. You
Well, that's
kind of
what I
have to
meant.
like
That's what,
figure it out on your own, and it's actual canon story. Like you have to find the hidden spaces, and there's writing on the wall, and you kind of have to piece
that's
it
what
all
I
together.
meant. I didn't mean. I meant there's no actual. And when you're playing the game, there's no like, storyline. You're just stuck there, and you're going through the experiments, and you learn the story as you go, and the story does develop in time. But what I'm saying is, it's a kind of game where, there really is, in the game itself, there's no, cutscene stories or anything like that. You're just going from room to room. So
But it
they
would make a
develop-
really great
That's
movie
what I'm saying.
because
That's my point. It would make a really good movie
I-
because they can build a story around that.
I want to
Totally.
see a Portal Origins movie. Like, I want to see
like
that.
the first shell.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That
Because
feels cool.
they touched on that they covered a lot of that in the second game. Kind of like how the testing all started, right? So, like a movie about that, like them building these facilities and stuff to try these experiments, and that'd be a cool movie. You could do a lot with that.
Oh yeah.
But again, I really
Half-Life
like.
would be a good movie. Any of the Valve games would be great movies.
well, they're really heavy on story, but they don't like shove it down your throat. So like for people who are playing through Portal who don't give a crap about following through stories, you can still enjoy that game and not have that story like slow you down. And then for the people who want to take their time and they really want to absorb the story, like it's there.
Yeah. Excel says I want to see the after story, which is also.
But they're making another Portal game and stuff like so.
Are they though? Are they making?
Yeah. They are. They left it open ended, and there's like a lot of like hints that when you are dropped. I know this is major spoilers, but it's been out years enough now that deal with it.
Deal with
when
it,
you're
Excel.
dropped at what appears to be outside of the testing facility, you're not actually outside. You're in like a biodome. There's like a picture frame, and there's some other like allusions to the
wow.
fact that you are not actually outside yet.
That's
Wow.
That's gonna be fun. I like Portal. But unfortunately, I feel like they're gonna be limited by their story because eventually people are gonna start bitching in the reviews like this is just like the last game and the story is the exact same and nothing ever changes. You can never get out. If as long as people don't do that, they have to realize it's still a puzzle game. Like at its core, that's what it's supposed to be. And I
Yeah.
hope it doesn't get a lot of flack for that because
The only
it's gotta
thing
get
that would-
repetitive.
Check me out from the Portal games because they did just enough that was the same but now different in the second game. The only thing that would really check me out is like if I really think about it and I'm like, where did they build this facility? Because this is getting infinitely huge and it's supposed to be all underground. Just think about that. Like it's just like, I'm not sure this is physically possible.
Yeah.
Spatially.
So, Portal 3. Portal 3 confirmed. You heard it here first. Oh man, I had a whole list of like movies pulled up to that have been turned into games, but ultimately I'm just how many of these have we had, and how many of them were worth watching? That's what this comes down to for me.
I feel like the Prince of Persia was worth watching. Some of the later Resident Evils definitely were worth watching. I think. I want to say that Final Fantasy movie was worth watching, but I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that because that kind of was like a weird kind of movie.
I see. I've never gotten into Final Fantasy because I think it's a weird kind of game, and
But
just not my thing.
the movie was like nothing like the games. It was very like grounded and realistic, and the only people who showed up to the movie obviously were fans of the game, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this?"
What am I watching?
This is nothing like any of the games. Like any of them.
I think if Warcraft is a success, it'll give a lot of hope to this genre we might start seeing of games that turn into movies.
Do you think this is going to replace the trend of superhero movies? Because, like, that's big right now.
You know, it could phase it out, or at least it'll start running parallel to superhero movies, because superhero movies come out few and far between. There's a lot of them, but they can only make so many in a year. If it'd be cool to have another badass nerdgasm piece of content coming out alongside of superhero movies, but I don't know. I think Disney and Marvel are going to keep beating that dead horse until it is dead. I mean,
well, if you look at history with the movies, like superheroes go in and out, and unfortunately, like we're at a good point with superhero movies, but I think we're at the peak, and so we're going to start seeing that kind of like slide out of fashion real soon.
As soon as we see a reboot to Iron Man, I know it's over.
That's really like that'll be like we're done with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, and we're rebooting it. Like that's the end right there. We're out.
There can't be another Iron Man. I will never watch it.
See, exactly. And if they're gonna do that, they might as well not even bother rebooting. Just replace the actor and pretend everything is the same. Because either way you do it, I can't. I just can't.
No.
You done with Iron Man? It's over.
I really, because Iron Man 1 got me into the superhero movies again.
Yeah, it was the same with me. It was that one that did it.
And it was so good and so well done. I just don't see anyone else playing that character. I know one day they're going to have to reboot it. I don't know when. Maybe tomorrow. But
I think superhero movies will be out of fashion though before that happens. Before he's too old, quote unquote, to be Iron Man.
Yeah, maybe. Video game movies, in that case, I could see. If superhero movies were to have an expiration date, I think video game movies for a while would take over. Just live action ones, but there's a lot of content there to work with, but you really got to pick the right ones. Warcraft, I think, is a good call. Because people love medieval stuff.
Mass appeal there.
Yeah. You're going to have a lot of people out of the gate who are going to come to watch. But also, I mean, it has that kind of medieval, feel that people are liking right now with shows like Game of Thrones and stuff like that.
High action.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story to work with, even if you like just copy and paste it straight from the actual lore book. Like there's a lot of good story that you can make a movie with. And there's, a lot of stuff, like holes you could fill with a lot of good movie, too.
Yeah. I mean, we're already getting a Batman reboot, by the way.
You know what?
Really?
I'm okay with that, because I really, really, really did not like the Christian Bale Batmans.
You were of a rare breed of people, because I loved the Christian Bale
I
Batman.
feel like I
honestly
honestly bottom of the list of all the Batmans. And I'm dead serious, like bottom of the list. And I know somebody's going to scream listening to this. But seriously, I hated Christian Bale as Batman. I'm just like, how can anybody like this? Get out of town. You're not a real Batman fan.
My favorite was Val Kilmer.
I know a lot of people who will say that. And I know a lot of people who say that Christian Bale was not their favorite Batman. But I don't know anyone who said he was so bad that the movies were awful.
Okay, no, the movies weren't like awful. There was just a lot of it like nitpicky things for me that made it bad. Like it wasn't cheesy or campy or anything like that. So don't like feel like that's how I feel about those movies. Honestly, my impartial position, 3-star movie out of 5.
Your favorite Batman is Adam West, right?
Oh yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I love Adam West Batman. I do. But I would say he's my favorite. I don't know who my favorite would be, but I do enjoy Adam West just because I do love campy stuff too.
Pow. Bam.
Oh, God.
We'll save that for Minecraft, the movie.
If you really want like campy Batman too, go watch the Batman the Brave and the Bold. Like that's some flair of the Adam West Batman.
No, we're way off of like movie games now.
I know.
Hey! There's a new Batman game coming. So
I know. I was going to say that because there was a story I wanted to tell in the last podcast. We're about to wrap up, so I'm just going to quickly go over this. When Steam recently came out with this feature to stream games, I had no idea what the hell to use it for, but I thought it was cool. So, for example, let's say you're logged into Steam on your laptop and your desktop. You could take your laptop into, say, the other room and go through your game library and hit stream, and your computer, your nice desktop, will play the game on your crappy laptop, which is a cool feature. But why wouldn't I just play it on my desktop? Well, I didn't realize it until last week or 2 weeks ago. Hey, wait a minute. I could plug this into my TV, and I could hook up an Xbox controller, and it works, and now I basically have another console in my living room, which is pretty frickin' sweet. So
yeah, your couch is pretty comfy.
Yeah,
I can understand why you'd want that.
It makes playing my Steam games a little more appealing now, and so I've started to like tackle my pile of shame a little bit, starting with starting with South Park: The Stick of Truth, which has been a lot of fun. And then there was also next to my list is Batman games, which is why I was telling that long story. So I'm really looking forward to playing those.
The Batman games are on your pile of shame.
Oh yeah, I have all three of the
top
Arkham games.
Of my pile of shame, I'm slowly working on actually right now is the Pokemon Omega Sapphire.
Yeah.
I haven't even beat the first gym yet. Do you know it's been like a week? And I've been like dawdling on this game. Like I pick it up for like an hour and because I'm like a perfectionist with it. And I'm like, and now they have that little thing so you know if you've caught all the Pokemon in that area. So it's like now I'm like, no, I cannot leave. Yeah. I have to get them all.
That's the problem with that game is I thought that was the coolest feature until I actually started playing. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. Who else is here? And so you get wrapped up for like an hour walking around stupid grass. I have a question.
No.
If they're in the water in that area, does that count? Like you can't catch them if you're in the beginning of the game. I don't know if a fishing rod. I can't swim.
I'm gonna assume that they don't include the well, I don't know if you've noticed, but like when you get the crown that says you got everything, there's bronze ones and there's gold ones. So I'm gonna assume the bronze crown means there's stuff in the water that you need to get, but you don't have the fishing rod or you haven't reached that part of the story where they feel that you can get those. So I think you're not required to get them to get the complete sticker.
I think we need a Pokemon movie.
We've had plenty
really?
of those.
There's plenty of those.
Well, like, real action. No.
Like
no.
Wouldn't it be cool? Think about it. Some kid discovers there's a lot of little creatures that only he can see.
I don't even know if that's really Pokemon.
You should probably play Pokemon.
and then he goes out and he discovers this sphere, and he's able to throw it and catch them, and then he's able to go out.
I think you're talking about a kid on an acid trip throwing rocks at small animals.
Yeah, I know, right?
You should play the game.
Oh my god, but I do love that new feature where you can like sneak up on Pokemon like that are like wiggling in the grass and stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, I got a scanner, I can see exactly what that ability is, so I can like filter this stuff.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap up, unfortunately, but there you go. We've trailed off quite a bit, but ultimately, gaming, movies. Check out Zelda coming on Netflix. I'm definitely gonna watch. But I'm not going to go in with high hopes, that's for sure.
And Warcraft a year from now.
Warcraft is a year from now. It should be good.
Deadpool's also a year from now.
That should be good, too. So, thank you so much for
listening.
Next
Valentine's Day!
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching on twitch.tv/enoobs. Or you can check us out on youtube.com/enoobcast. I know our links, none of them match. But if you go to everythingnoob.com, all the links you need are there, the show notes, everything you need to know. Check out everythingnoob.com. We will see you all next week.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of the Everything Noob podcast. Hit up everythingnoob.com for our show notes, blogs, YouTube and Twitch channels, previous episodes, and even a t-shirt store. Please game responsibly, and we'll see you next week.